of the following countries speak Spanish and are located in the Greater Antilles in the Northern Caribbean. First up is Cuba. The capital is Havana. The Guanajatabe and Siboney people were the island's original inhabitants until the Taínos arrived later, and then the island was colonized by the Spanish until they gained independence in 1902. Here is the flag. It was designed by Miguel de Urbe Colón in 1849, but wasn't adopted until 1902. The three blue stripes represent the three departments of Cuba at the time. The white represents purity of the patriot cause, and the red triangle is a symbol of strength, constancy, and equality. Next, we have La República Dominicana, the Dominican Republic. The capital is Santo Domingo. Like Cuba, it was also inhabited by the Taíno, and one of the names that the Taíno had for the island was Quisqueya. The Spanish arrived and colonized the Dominican Republic until they gained independence from Spain in 1821, but were then annexed by Haiti until they gained independence again in 1844, and then re-annexed by Spain in 1861, and then finally gained full independence for good in 1865. But the 1844 date, which is February 27th, is recognized as the Dominican Republic's Independence Day. Here is the flag. It was designed by Juan Pablo Duarte, who led the fight for independence in 1844 and is considered the father of the nation, but the flag wasn't adopted until 1863. The blue represents liberty and God's protection over the nation, the white represents salvation, peace, and unity, and the red represents the blood of those in the fight for freedom and independence. The flag also includes a coat of arms in the middle, featuring a Bible and a cross, which are reflective of Duarte's Christian ideals, and the motto Dios, Patria y Libertad, meaning God, homeland, and liberty. And finally, we have Puerto Rico, La Isla del Encanto. The capital is San Juan. The Taínos were also here before Spanish colonization, and they called the island Boriquén, which is why a lot of Puerto Ricans call themselves Boricuas to honor their Taíno ancestry. Puerto Rico became an autonomous community of Spain in 1897, but was turned over to the U.S. shortly after in 1898 during the Spanish-American War. To this day, Puerto Rico remains a commonwealth or unincorporated territory of the United States, and their future as a territory, state, or an independent country have been up for debate for quite some time now. While Puerto Ricans are considered U.S. citizens, they are unable to vote in presidential elections, but they can vote in local and primary elections, and their representative is called a resident commissioner in the House of Representatives, but they have limited power as well. Now, the flag is similar to the Cuban flag, but the colors are inverted. The white star represents the archipelago and island, the three sides of the triangle represent the three branches of government, and the blue represents the sky and coastal waters. And then the red represents the bloodshed by warriors, and the white represents liberty, victory, and peace. Now, the current iteration of the flag was adopted in 1952, and the designer is unclear, but to make a long story short, it is heavily based on the Cuban flag, which is why they are so similar. Now, you may see a lot of Puerto Ricans carry this version of the flag, La Bandera Azul Clarito, which came before the dark blue version that we see now, and this light blue version has become associated with independence, pride, resistance, and anti-colonialism, and was actually illegal to fly from 1948 until 1957. There were actually a few more iterations of the Puerto Rican flag before the one we know today, and the history behind how the flag came to be is actually very interesting, so if you want a separate video on that, I'd be more than happy to make it. This was just a brief overview of Hispanic countries in the Caribbean, and you can see they have some similarities, but they all of course have their differences when it comes to food, music, and even down to how they speak Spanish. As always, my name is Marissa, and I hope you learned something.